Hey everyone, welcome back to Hobart. We're looking forward to game number 118, Australia versus Great Britain in the Under-19 Women's Division. Nat, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, hi Romy. Nice to be back in the chair with you, Romy. I enjoyed our last gig together. Again, this is going to be a pretty tight game. Day 5 of the 4th Underwater Hockey Age Championships, and second half of the day, the games have been really tight pretty much, Romy. Everyone's trying to settle into a position ready for finals, see where they finally seed. We'll go through the seeding in a minute, and we'll go through the team lists in a minute. So Australia is right of screen, going right to left, and Great Britain in black in their beautiful blue bathers, going from left to right, Romy.
Yeah, and we've got it going straight to the wall there. Probably not the start Australia wanted. They'd want to keep Great Britain off the wall, looking to bring it into the centre, but it's just pushed back onto the wall by Great Britain. A great drive there from the British.
Yeah, it is a really good drive, straight up under the sub-bench of the Australians. Romy, did you have a chance to talk to some of your mates in the Under-19 Australian women's team before the game?
I did. They're feeling pretty confident, but it's a must-win game from Australia. They really don't want to slip up here. It is their second game of the day. Great game earlier. I'm not sure who they played, but it was a win for them, I believe. I don't want to call too soon.
No, I can tell you that in a minute. Just keep on talking for a sec, Romy, and I'll bring that up.
Yeah, just bringing it out into the middle of the court now for the Australian women in their defence. Good drive there from Natalie. Pushed into the centre. Well intercepted by the British there. Nat, can you tell us the scores from earlier?
Yeah, the women's Aussie team played against Canada, the battlers, the Canadians, with their 6 players in the end of that game. So it was a 12-0 win for Australia. And not a huge amount of time between games, so the Aussies have had to bounce back and come back to this game. The Canadian girls, Romy, usually 8, had a bit of a puck to the head this morning, and the player that was out, she went to the doctors, had it checked out. She's back on the pool deck, but not allowed back in the water just yet.
What a champion. And it does go to show how hard it is if you don't have a full squad, especially if you have injuries or illness. Got the Australians bringing the puck into the centre of the court now. Nice deep switch, but intercepted there by the British by the looks of things.
Yeah, the Canadians just with their 8 aside in the under-23s girls and the under-19 girls, but bloody look good on them, because you don't want to have one full team of 12 and then no one in your under-19s team. You're better to share it around, because it's a world competition, world championships, and that experience is invaluable. So even if they've only got 8 per side, the experience that those girls are gaining is just so invaluble.
And Nat, you just commentated the Canadian versus New Zealand under-19 women's. Can you tell us a bit about that game?
Yeah, okay. Well, the New Zealanders top of the table, and Canada at the bottom there of the 7 teams in that category. So I tell you, isn't it funny how we always look for really positives when you're playing against a really strong team like New Zealand? And it was 19-0, or as Luke, who was commentating with me, said, 19 and a goose egg. Goose egg. That's a nil. I love that. He said there was a timeout with 1 minute and 45 to go. And Luke said the coach will be telling the girls, we're not going to hit 20. Don't let them get the 20 goals. So for the last minute and 45, the New Zealanders were snowing down on the Canadian girls, and they kept it out, kept the score to 19-0 right to final time. Isn't that great?
Yeah, they did an absolutely beautiful job there, the Canadians. Probably not quite the result they wanted, but gee, they stuck to their guns there.
Yeah, you set yourself those challenges, when the chips are down. I think that was still a little win for them at the end, because their defence was fantastic.
Excellent play from the Australians here. Really great teamwork. Just anticipating where their players are going to be and passing nicely bat to bat. And a good drive up into the forward line. Well defended there from that British girl. Such aggression.
Yeah, Australia are 3rd on the table for the under-19 women's, and Great Britain are 6th. But even with that 3 versus 6, you never know what's going to happen. They're just so tight. Australia have conceded 12 goals in this competition, Great Britain 48. But it really depends on who they've played in this lead-up. You'd expect to see the Australian backline stronger than the Great Britain backline on those statistics. But who knows what's going to happen in this game.
Yeah, we've got a very experienced backline from the Australians. Maggie Biffin, the vice-captain there, championing the backline as the fullback, and Natalie Iredale, the captain, as the centre forward.
Yeah, did we want to go through the team list, Rom? We haven't this game. Should we go through the team list, Romy?
Sounds good.
Yeah, do you want to introduce us to the Great Britain under-19 women?
Sure, we have Lorna Dixon, number 2, Nia Matthews, number 3, Rachel Davies, Emily McEwen, Cara Gaskell, Chloe Edwards, Vicky Crawford, Abby Calvert, Becky Northover, Rosie Winter and Pearl Winter, sisters there, number 11 and 12, and Daisy Wright.
Yeah, the Brits have got a lot of family over here. There's a lot of sisters and brothers playing. Canada's a bit the same, and the Americans are definitely the same. We've got, brothers and sisters across all the categories in, and parents reffing, helping out as volunteers. So definitely a family sport. So setting up, it's a free for Great Britain, and defending is Australia. We'll see what Great Britain can do off this free, though it looks like another infringement.
Yeah, we've had another infringement call there. Bit of a shame for the Australians. Looked like they had a great breakaway opportunity. But yeah, there's a foul called against the Australians. They'll set up in front of their tray.
Okay, so I won't call out the team just yet for the Australian women. I'm just looking at the live chat. There's no one on live chat at the moment, but that's probably because in Britain it's, I don't know, midnight or a bit after.
A little bit early.
And the Australian supporters, I think they're all here at the pool. There's a good crowd in the stands.
Yeah,
So
taken. Oh, brilliant steal there. I think that was Natalie. Just wonderful work taking it off the British puck.
It's interesting though. She went back through the middle, which is pretty hairy.
Questionable decision there, but a wonderful steal to cap that off.
Yeah. So we've got the time 6:26 a.m. in London. Thank you very much for that, Harry. You're on to it. Harry's our techie for today. He's managing the 6 camera views. So in front of him, he's got all 6 camera views, plus the overlay of the team sheets and the court scores, times. So he's the man on the button, and he gives us and you at home the vision that best shows what's happening in the game. So switching between cameras, and I don't do the job, Romy. What's it like in that job? Because you've been on that job quite a bit.
It keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. I feel very engaged with all of these games when I'm switching it up, as well as when I'm commentating. I feel so invested in these players, and when I see them do something wonderful, I'm just cheering no matter which country it is.
Yeah, I'd agree, and I think that's why I wouldn't make a good ref, Romy, because I get too engrossed, and it's like I'm everyone's mum.
Yeah, and speaking of mums, we do have Sandra, I'm sure, in the crowd cheering for her darlings.
Yeah, the underwater hockey mum extraordinaire. And next time the Australians score a goal, you'll hear her in the background. She's pretty vocal. So Australia really trying to attack the goals, but Great Britain doing a pretty good job defending. Really good job defending, though I think this one has gone in the tray. It's always no goal. So Australia been pushed back. It's for a right-hander defending out of the tray in this direction, it's very hard to keep it off your gloves. So the refs will be looking for that infringement. But for the Australians, it's actually a good side to attack from.
And wonderful work there from the Australians. Instead of playing along the back wall, they've been trying to bring it out through the centre corridor. It hasn't paid off just yet, but I've got a feeling it will in a few minutes' time.
Yeah, look, wise move for these girls taking that free. Damn good. That's what the coach wants. Swimming over, away from the congestion in the middle. Regroup. They've got someone on the outside of play, someone behind that forms that nice strong triangle. But well done. Okay, so she's pulled a foul. I was going to say terrific little cut back in there by the Australian.
Yeah, they're cutting the 45s nicely this game. I imagine that's something their two coaches, Chris and Chris, have been talking to them about.
Yeah, we can do better than Chris and Chris. Let's call them CC.
CC.
Yeah,
Chrissy
CC.
C's.
The Christophers. Interesting cut back in the middle there, Romy. She must have a lot of confidence and composure to do that, because it is a risky move. Another penalty. The refs are... Oh, we can't pump the refs up enough in this competition, Romy. They are the professional unit. They're just so on top of every game, and they just don't let anything get out of hand. They play the unsportsmanlike card quite often to say to players, hey, no, we're not accepting that. Guys, there's a certain amount of aggression that you can have in the game, but it can't be unsportsmanlike, and that's what we want to see.
Excellent driving there from number 5 for Australia. That'll be Emma Horak.
Yeah, number 5. That's a great number. What number are you, Romy?
I'm number 10, so that's Caitlin Parr on this team. Caitlin played in Spain 2 years ago. She's from Queensland, I believe. I've been saying that. I hope I'm not wrong.
No, it's funny. I'm number 5 traditionally, and for we've got a kick out here. So, Harry, we good with that one? Number 11? Let's follow her out. I like the way the camera guy follows out the swim of shame into the naughty chair, and she'll pick up a fine for that one.
And what do you reckon these teams will be doing for fines? Since they're underage,
Romy,
Natalie, and they won't be
go
drinking.
there. Yeah, we've got to go there. We've got to talk about the fines. I was just talking to Luke from Canada, and they're doing the teaspoon of Vegemite. So for every stuff up they do, every brain fade, it's been watched by a fine master, written down in a little book. And for those guys, they're going to have to take some Vegemite punishment.
Yeah, and traditionally for the older teams, they often take some slightly more adult punishments with some alcohol. Hopefully we won't be seeing that from these girls.
No, we don't condone alcohol with sport. I think that's a
No.
really poor message, but there's definitely lots of bubbles and fizz that does go down for the fines. What's your experience with fines, Romy, in your campaign for both state, playing in Tasmania and playing for Australia in the past?
Well, up until this year, I've been underage, so my fines have generally been pretty disgusting combinations of food or embarrassing actions I have to take at presentation night. I remember my first Worlds in Hungary. I was forced to crawl through the legs of other party participants for every fine I got. Made some wonderful friends.
Good way of
while
meeting
I was on the
people.
ground.
Now, but did you get permission from those people, or was it just you had to crawl through at least 5 people's legs without them knowing that what you're doing? Is that the drill?
I think that was the general idea, yeah. And as the night went on, there were a lot more people having a bit of trouble standing on their feet.
Oh, I like it. And the other thing we were talking about, Romy, we've really got to do. I'd like to do some investigating actually about what people do for their fines. I was pretty impressed with Luke's what they focus on for each game. Traditionally, teams pick up a player that's either really stuffed up, and you get some punishment like having to wear a funny hat for the full next day, or if you've spat the dummy, you've got to have the little baby dummy around your neck. But Luke, I could have given him a big cuddle. You know what the Canadians do, Romy?
What do they do, Nat?
Well, they don't focus on the negative, which I find really hard to believe. They have a most valuable player for that day.
Now, and what do they get if
They
they're
get
the
a
most-
little beaver. They get a
little
little fuzzy
beaver.
beaver to carry around in their pockets. So, yo, go Canada. Nice work.
I think if every team had the same attitude as Canada, we wouldn't even have a game. I think we'd all just be standing around hugging each other.
Yeah, the world would be a better place. Okay, so what's happening in the game, Romy? Let's get back on the action. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of strong drives from the Australians here, but got to commend the British backline for clearing it again and again and taking it to the sides of the court rather than through the centre corridor. Good move there from the British, as the Australians are pretty strong through the centre.
There's been a lot of stoppage in this game, which surprises me. I suppose that's testament to how close these two teams are. The Australian coach is calling a timeout. Yeah, they do need to regroup. The stoppages will mean that either team won't have a chance to kind of hit their routine, get things kind of flowing. It can be frustrating as a player, can't it, Romy?
Yeah, and certainly watching the Great British under-23 women play the Australian women yesterday, a lot of kick-outs. I think perhaps I reckon their whole team spent some time on the bench yesterday. There were so many kick-outs. And you really don't want that when you're at a World Championship, because playing with 4 or even 3 men in the water, incredibly hard work for the men or women who are in the pool at that time.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm just going to cross over to the live chat. We've got 3 people chatting, which is really nice, Romy. We've got Pat Kelly. Hey, Pat. Come on, Aussie from Pat. Darby Hoskins. Yeah, cheeky Pat Kelly. Thanks, Nick. Darby Hoskins. Go Aussie from the Wonthaggi Underwater Hockey Club. Go Katarina and team. And who's the last one there, Romy?
But they say, go GB, good defending, X. So thank you very much for your comments, guys.
Yeah, I think it's Life Esther, but I'm glad I gave that one to you, Romy. Look, the Australians just can't penetrate this back line. I'm really impressed with the Great Brits and their defence. Something's got to give, though, Romy, and I'm not sure what it is. We've just had the timeout for the Australians, so you'd be expecting them to open it up, go for the middle of the goals and get their act together.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we might see some aggressive play from the Australian backline now, who are just, so desperate to get that goal into the tray. It's been sitting on the lips so much these last few minutes. I'm wondering if someone like Maggie might just go, nope, enough, and just barrel through, put the puck in the tray. Yeah,
you definitely need players that can just do that, take the bit between the teeth, get a little bit of, froth out of the mouth and some mad look in their eye and just take it and go. And it lifts the whole team, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, we had a strong-looking drive on the tray there, but the refs just pulled up a bit of chopping against the Australians. They'll push back, give the British an opportunity to take the puck away.
Yeah, my money's on the Brits bringing it over towards the sub bench here. They're just getting a fresh player in. I love this above view, and you can see the way that players set up for their free pucks.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different combinations of the free pucks. We've seen the entire team stacking behind the puck. We've seen the entire team stacking in front except for the player taking it. Nat, what do you think works best?
Really, really good question. I had this same discussion with Dave, and it's really important for a team to look. You've been given the free, and look, what I see is it's like 50-50, but it shouldn't be that way. The team taking the puck needs to capitalise. It should be in their favour, and I don't know. I think I've tried everything, and I still don't know which is the best way to do it. It just depends on your opposition, I think.
Oh, and so close there in the tray. And it looks like the ref might be calling something against the British.
1 minute, number 13. Okay.
I'm almost shocked we don't have a 2-on-1 there. It seems so close to the tray, and if there was a foul that prevented that goal, you might expect...
She hasn't gone out, Romy. Hang on. I haven't seen anyone swim out, Romy.
No, it looked to me like there was a kick out, but I haven't seen them leaving the pool yet. I'll just nip out and have a look.
Yeah, good one. And it's definitely a great... it was number 13. So Daisy. Sweet name, Daisy, but not sweet
Daisy.
play. Yeah, she needs to get sitting right in the seat before that 1 minute starts.
Oh, and that looks like... Have we got a goal here? No goal.
Oh, yeah, in the furthest part of the tray. No, it was called up against the Aussies.
Yeah, it looks like they might have gloved it in there. That's not looking so good.
Yeah, 1 minute to go in the first half, and I'm surprised by this scoreline. How many people have we got in the stands there watching Court 2, Romy? We can see it from here, the top view. Thanks, Harry. So we've got a reasonable crowd. There seems to be more up in this Court 1. Who's playing in Court 1, Romy? Can you see over there?
We've got the Colombians versing the South Africans here, and the scores are drawn at 1 apiece.
1-1, under 19 men. So 2 really close games. And, of course, we're going to find that once we get into the final seedings and the finals, that the games are more likely to end very close to draws. And when we do get to the finals, that goes into extra time, it goes into golden goal, and the game can extend by, 15 minutes.
Yeah, my last Worlds in Castellon, we were playing against New Zealand for a place in the finals. And it went down, and we were just seconds away from golden goal before one of our players put the puck in the tray. But, gee, it rattles your nerves when that kind of thing happens.
Yeah, exactly, and especially if your player's down. So number 11 for another sweet name, Rosie, but not sweet play. So we've got Daisy and Rosie in the a bit of a floral theme. No, Daisy's back in the water, so it's just Rosie on her own. She needs to be sitting in that seat before she can. They start the time.
And again, the British just...
half time.
Oh, okay. And we've got half time now.
Okay, so, Romy, were you just about to say something? I
was going to say that it might be a good opportunity just to plug a few sponsors here, Nat.
What a good idea. Who are we going to go with first? Do we go with the Naji fins? Terrific fins, almost indestructible. And I was talking to Dave Lambert, who said that, these fins have a definite place in underwater hockey. They are so valuable for relieving the legs, as they're a little bit less pressure on the legs, but they're so whippy and manoeuvrable and great in a close contest.
And I can see have we got there? Just on the topic of the Nages, they're giving away some free fins to the best dressed at presentation night. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you rock up in something spectacular if you want a pair of fins. Yeah,
okay, so we've got our wonderful entwined eels as our logo from Lee Marie Stinson. She did the design, and Poco people got that printed for us on all our merchandise. So great design. Who else have we got there, Romy?
We've got Wing & Co, who've been providing the food for the referees. And we're very grateful for that, because a lot of the referees have been here for just hours upon hours, barely an opportunity to get some food. So thank you so much to Maria Wickham for providing that for us.
Yeah, look, and I must say too, Romy, we're reading through the sponsors list, which has been ably provided by a young Harry Vanderwood. Harry got all the commentary crew together, got all that organised, and then jumped on his bike and rode over to America to Denver for a wedding. So left us all on our own.
I was wondering where Harry was at, but yeah, if you're listening, Harry, thank you for your help. It's much appreciated by us.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've still got a minute and a half time. City of Hobart, Doon Kennedy Aquatic Centre looked after us really well, provided extra time before the competition to set up all the infrastructure and keeping the water clean. I think we finished at 7:30, 8 o'clock last night, and they were straight onto the pool deck, vacuuming, scrubbing, cleaning, making sure that our quality of water is really good.
Yeah, and we've got a late game again today. We won't be finishing up here until 8:30, 9 o'clock. It'll be a long day for us, so hopefully we'll get another clean pool deck again from the Aquatic Centre staff.
I think Sunday was a 12-hour one, Romy, and tonight's going to be pretty close.
Boy, it's been some long days here.
It is worth it. We live and breathe.
It's for the glory, Nat.
Yeah, it is. And how do you feel? You tempted to get in, Romy?
Yeah, I do feel like I'm missing out on the hockey a lot. I am a bit regretful that I haven't played, especially for this under-19 side. They're just so strong. And they're such a great bunch of girls as well. Such great camaraderie between them.
They are really good. There's a special feel in that team, Romy. The under-19 girls, if they can get that feel going and that camaraderie, that'll carry through into under-23s and beyond.
Yeah, we're looking for some really strong development into the under-23s team. Unfortunately, the under-23 women for this tournament haven't had a full squad, but definitely looking... Oh, no, they have had a full squad. We had some trouble with the tryouts, but they do have a full squad now.
Yeah.
But certainly looking into Sheffield in the future, it'll be great to see just how many strong women we have aging up into the 23s.
Yeah, and what's your age, Romy? How old are you?
I've just turned 19, so I could be playing for these women. I did play for the under-23s in Castellon 2 years ago.
Yeah, and so we've got the Elite Worlds in Canada. That's a 3-metre depth there for that pool. And for Sheffield, I just heard that's going to be a 2.6 metre pool for the age championships.
That's an excellent depth. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it is good. And it's a different mindset. It doesn't take long to get used to when you're playing, but you do change your strategies a little, that's for sure. Now we've got a ref conversation here right in front of the goals. Love that intensity on Jess Cohen's face. Look at that face. She's a wicked young lady. So 1 minute for someone out, number 7.
That'll be Chloe Edwards there getting a minute in the sin bin. Did you see what she did, Nat?
No, look, I think she might have been the sacrificial lamb. They were looking just to throw anyone out, and so she's out with her mates. Not happy, Jan. Yeah. So two in the bin, and this is a chance for Australia to score. It's not the best way to score, personally. I don't like it when the opposition have got a man down. It's always nice to attack a full complement, but they better take advantage of this.
It's been taken into the corner there by the British. Again, such strong defence. It's really impressive. Brought out into the centre by the Australians. That's exactly in their game plan, to keep it away from the walls, bring it into the centre where a lot of teams are quite weak, and Australia finds themselves very strong.
Yeah, and that's good. I think New Zealand... look at that lovely little chip flick.
Beautiful flicking there from the Australians. Such persistence, and it's paid off.
And I think that was my wonderful Jess Cohen. You notice the different flicking abilities of teams. You can't underestimate how important a consistent flick is in these games, and the only way you're going to get there is by drills, by forearm strength work, wrist strength work, and quite often people just think it's going to happen naturally. It won't. You've got to put in the hours of practice over and over again to get those flicks consistently happening.
Yeah, I know from my own experience in women's teams, a lot of women do struggle to get their flicks as good as the boys, just a physical disadvantage to us. But as Nat said, with enough drilling and persistence, I've seen some huge flicks off some women.
Yeah, and it really opens up the game. It makes the game so much less congested. So, that's an interesting trying to bring it into the middle there, Romy. I don't know if I would have done that. She needs to have vision to see that there wasn't space to actually go there.
I know the Australians do like their middle game, but definitely when it's congested in the middle there, you want to be looking for your outer corridors to drive it down.
Yeah, use your speed, use the space, and allow time for your team to regroup. Do you think... I don't know, it seems like everyone's looking a little bit tired, Romy.
Yeah, these women have been playing a double round robin, and we're almost at the end of that. Just one more day of the round robin competition after today, and you'd be expecting these women to be a bit fatigued. Sometimes they've had 3 games a day.
Yeah, I know Canada have got 3 games today. The poor girls with only their 6 and 7. Okay, so the refs calling another infringement and very politely taken by I think it was Natalie. Just the little nod. Yep, I'll cop that one on the chin. And it's always wise to keep your head down, isn't it, Romy? So if it was an infringement, you're not thrown out.
I've certainly seen particular Thomas Milner thrown into the sin bin a number of times for talking back to the referees. I'm not sure if he's learned his lesson yet. I hope so.
I don't know, actually, Romy. He's a pretty gun ref too, so he knows what it's like to be on both sides. Okay, how are we going? We've got Pat Kelly, big come on to all the amazing WA country representation in this team. Margaret River, Bustleton, Collie and Bunbury. Thanks, Pat. So please bring on the live chat. We love to hear what's going on from the other side of the stream.
Nice strong drive from the British there to the other side of the pool. It looks like it's a bit hard to see from where we are, and the pool is starting to cloud up as we move towards the latter part of today. This morning we had lovely vision.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of the light in the pool complex as well. In the morning, the light's a lot more crisp. It's winter. The sun's a lot lower in the sky. So, yeah, it's getting later in the afternoon. The lights are just dimming. The pool's turning on their lights. So it's just that kind of transition. Just having a look at the other game, Romy, the under-19 men. We've got Colombia on 2 and South Africa on 1. So another really close game. 1 goal in it. Our fans must be sitting on the edge of their seats, really. The people in the stands will be just pretty exhausted as well by the end of this. So, Romy, you're looking up some stats there that for the boys. Is that right?
Just looking into the under-19 men for anyone who's interested. We've got South Africa sitting in 4th with 3 wins, 1 loss, and Colombia sitting in 5th with 2 wins, 2 losses.
Close on the ladder.
Yeah, so definitely a bit of a grudge match here between these two teams, and definitely a must-win match for both of them.
Okay, so we haven't got the bodies on the bottom here, Romy. The Great Britain's clearing it out, going for another drive. It's just like, I think it's definitely time for a timeout. If I was the coach of either of these teams, you'd want to stop, reset. Come on, girls. Second half, we're 6 minutes in. Something's got to give. They do need to take risks. They need to get it to their game plan. And that was a terrific steal from the Australian.
Yeah, just
but
wonderful.
Almost an open goal. It was she was just caught flat-footed from that steal, and the Great Britain girl just reclaimed it and swam it all the way up into the D. So well done. Come on, Australia. We don't want to get caught like that again.
Excellent clearance there by the Aussies to the wall. Certainly you'd be wanting to watch out for the off wing from GB looking to bring it through the centre, and she has. Great cutting from Australia there. She's got a British girl right on her.
Okay, risky kind of curl there because the Australian was pointing in the right direction, but it seemed to have paid off. Exhausting hockey. Nice work for the Australians, though I'm surprised she didn't use her fullback there, who was pointing in the right directions, and that was Lily.
I think your comment before, Nat, about both teams being a bit tired was just bang on. You can see a lot of quite silly mistakes being made by both sides, just the fatigue setting in. You can't blame these girls for how tough a tournament they've had, but definitely I think if their coaches should be looking for a timeout now to give the girls a breather.
You find when you get tired, you'll see, if you're watching the game, you'll see the players go for the forward option for a flick because they don't want to give any ground. But in fact, what they should be doing is looking for a back option. So flicking it back to a fresh player coming through. It takes a little bit longer to progress up the pool, but you keep possession and it's actually less tiring in the long run.
Yeah, one of my favourite moves as a winger is to look for my halfback and give him a nice big flick and then a swim across the pool for a nice switch.
Yeah, exactly. And just a quick up and down, or even staying on the bottom and just going forward. So a big drive, the refs are playing advantage, and I think the game has... That's a goal to Great Britain. So game on. Come on. I think the Christophers are going to call a timeout. I'd be surprised if they didn't. They'll be waiting to see if Great Britain uses their timeout first, because you don't want to waste them. But they're definitely a joker card. when you use them, you really should score after that, because it allows your team to regroup. I'm really surprised, Romy, no one's called a timeout.
Yeah, perhaps I'm confident the British there wanting to keep up the momentum. That was number 4, Rachel Davis, scoring there. Well done to Rachel.
Yeah, there's the 2 reasons why you call a timeout, and that is either to just let your team who have been playing well have just a breather and refocus. For the team that isn't doing so well, it's time for the coach to be able to speak to the players and remind them what they're there to do.
And as much as I love the Australian girls, I would say the British have had good control of this second half.
Yeah.
I think that might just be they've had more numbers on the bottom. These girls are supporting each other better.
So 1-1. It's the door is open for both of these teams. There is a light for both of them, and they're all looking for the trough, the tray, the bin, the net, the hole, and what else have I forgotten there?
Well, the Kiwis apparently just call it the goal.
No, tin, I think, isn't it?
The tin.
The ton.
Someone.
The bun. The bun. The bun. Into the bun. The ton. Gin. There we go. Oh, 1 minute for some chopping. There you go.
Yeah, there's that timeout.
So a timeout called. We've got one of the great Brits out for, I'm not sure if it was 1 minute or 2 minute, Romy. I saw one finger and then two. Maybe she was just being rude. I don't know.
She might have done this once already, Nat. So if you've been kicked out once and you do the same offence again later, you risk getting a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, not happy, Jan. Look at that. Number 2, the captain, Lorna Dickinson.
Having a laugh, though.
Okay. Oh, maybe just saying, well, look, girls, I'm having a rest. You girls get in there and do the business. So, Romy, while they're having a reset, the theme of the presentation night is
it's Under the Sea, actually, which, not wanting to brag, was suggested by my mother.
Very good. So a bit of a Nemo thing happening.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about mermaids and even pirates, apparently, from one Australian team.
Yeah, that's cool. We had mermaids in Stellenbosch, a whole team of mermaids. So I don't know how that fit. I can't remember what the theme was. I think the theme for ours was fur. It was like fur for the like lions and tigers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Well, not tigers,
like a jungle
but lions.
sort of
Yeah,
thing.
jungle kind of thing. So the mermaids, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to be
unfortunately,
mermaids.
my last 2 worlds, I don't think we've had themes. People have just sort of rocked up in whatever they liked.
It's good to have a theme.
It's
it is
nice,
good.
yeah, and you get so many great costumes as teams band together to put on their best clothing.
Well, I like the idea for the younger guys, because the little kind of clue for the Canadian boys was they're going the plaid. Oh, nice work, Jess, and number 12, Maggie.
Number 10 there, Caitlin Parr.
Oh, okay, was it 10? So Caitlin was the last one to touch it in there, but it was definitely a paired effort. Yeah, the Canadian boys, they're going the plaid, a bit of check, which is good. Takes the pressure off, I suppose, for having to go the glam. If you've got a bit of a team theme, it's a bit more of a team effort, isn't it, Romy?
Yeah, and it will be very cold here in Hobart on Saturday night. I hope teams will be thinking about that especially the women, when they're wearing their dresses.
Yeah, I reckon just go the black puffy and say that you're a jellyfish, Romy.
You could wrap yourself up in Glad wrap.
Yeah, go in a sleeping bag and just bound around
sea
as some
slug.
kind of... No, a sea cucumber. Yes. And if you've ever seen a sea cucumber, don't try and eat one. They're not good. Not very tasty at all. So 2-1 to Australia. We've only got 4 minutes to go. It's still too long for any team to try and just shut it down, take it to the wall or the corner. They've still got to play their style of hockey. Want to capitalise, score another goal. Be interesting to see how this game ends up.
And any goals we see now are going to be team goals. There's no more room for solo efforts with both teams getting so tired. They need to be united and driving together.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can see, we've also got Vertex as our sponsors. They've provided all the ref shirts and volunteer shirts in its lovely purple.
Oh, and the start of an excellent switch there, but unfortunately just not confident enough to
pulled
bash
out.
through that British goal, and it's been taken back into the centre. Definitely not where the Australians wanted it now.
There she was burned. She was burned badly. Oh, and just saved by an infringement. Oh, 1 minute. I don't think she saw
No, it's
number
the British
11.
girl there.
Rosie Winter. That's twice you've been in there, Rosie.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she'll get a 2-minute penalty there if it was the same infringement she just occurred again.
I have to ask these girls what their punishment is for their time in the sin bin. There's some tight curls by the Aussie girls. We've got three yellows, which is what we want to see against 2 of the. I'm surprised at the amount of stops in this game, Romy. Good on the refs, but girls, clean up your act. You want a flowing game.
Yeah, I've seen tidier play from the Turkish under-23 men, and as we know...
Romy, you sure about that?
Well, we did. I was watching one of their games a few days ago, actually, and they just seem to want to hang out together on the sin bin bench.
Yeah,
I saw 3 or 4 men just hanging out.
A little bit of man time. And we've got a timeout for Aussie. Good timeout. So this is, like we said, this is the timeout you need where it's like, girls, you're doing well. Come on, big deep breaths. Keep up what you're doing. Sharpen it up a little bit. With 2 minutes to go, it's still anybody's game.
And this is not a game Australia will want to lose. They want to finish in a strong position to better their chances at winning a medal. What are your tips on the competition, Nat? Yeah, any gut feelings about the under-19 women?
No, not at all. It's just we've seen so many upsets in tournaments before. When you've got come the finals, you might have 2 playing 6 in when there's enough teams to do that, and I've seen 6 knock off 2, and then in unreal circumstances. So even with your favourites. It's the finals hockey is totally different. A lot more of the mental stuff comes into play, and that's something you can't see. You don't know that until players are put under that type of pressure. What about you, Romy? Do you have any kind of feeling of who's going to be taking it into the gold medal playoff?
Well, watching these under-19 Australian girls, such development since Castellon 2 years ago, where they finished 6th. And many of these girls have stayed on to play again in Hobart this year. Look, I've got a feeling they're going to medal this year, Nat. I'm really confident.
Yeah, I think actually looking at the placings there, I think they might have finished 7th.
Oh.
Just behind the Netherlands. Is that right? Is that what we're looking at there?
Look, they weren't in medal contention.
Yeah,
2 years
okay.
ago.
So last...
just Jess on the bench again, Jess.
And she'll be pretty much out until full time if it was a 2-minute penalty. South Africa and New Zealand finished up top the last age championships, followed by France, Colombia, Great Britain, Canada, Australia and the Netherlands. But like you said, there's been a heap of development of the Aussie girls since then. Do you know how many are in the team from Castellon?
Certainly a number. We had Nat, Lily, Caitlin, and Maggie, certainly, and there may have been a few others I've missed there. I'm sorry if I've forgotten you. I do still love you, I promise.
And Georgina, you obviously know Lorna pretty well. An awkward laugh from the captain. Well spotted. Yeah, we were we were a bit confused. But yeah, good on her.
Good to see the captain rallying her troops as well and just not spitting the dummy there on the bench, just laughing it off.
Yeah, exactly. So big drive. Refs have pulled it up.
They'll be chopping.
Like good defence. Number 8, Vicky Crawford, and your team of backs. Great defence. The Aussies been reset back. We've got about a minute to go. It must have been only a minute that Jess was in for. So we've got both players on the side that were in the sin bin, ready to jump in as soon as that puck is touched, and they'll be going for blood. They'll be just wanting the glory days. You always have that dream when you come in from the sub, don't you, Romy, of just... You have your eye on the puck and you're doing it all on your own. You just go.
And I've seen it as well. I think Olivia Sanderson, one of the under-23 women, just in off the bench and goes for a huge breakaway goal and scores. And that's glory days now.
It is. It's a good feeling. Okay, so they're just rolling it down. The Great Britain girls absorbing that pressure, which is really nice, not trying to push against that pressure, because that's almost impossible when you've got a team rolling down onto you. You want to actually swim in the same direction they're going so you can get your body flat, scoop it around and go around the outside. Great Britain looks like they're just being opened up there as Australia cutting across to the corner of the goal tray.
Yeah, the British doing a great job there, just taking it back into the corner. They really don't want to concede this last goal. I think their chances of scoring another one against Australia pretty much impossible now, but they want to maintain their dignity and keep it out of their tray, just 10 more seconds.
Yeah, it's a big countdown from the crowd. if we have enough time, we'll get out on the pool deck and see if we can interview a couple of these girls. We'll just bear with us. We'll see how we go. We only have a small window to do the interviews now, especially when everyone's using their timeouts. That little window just gets a little bit narrower and narrower. So hopefully we'll get out there. Romy, I think, is running out. Thanks, Harry, for doing all the switching for us. That was terrific. Look at the exhaustion on those faces. Okay, so Nat is out of the building, and hopefully Romy gets a couple of interviews. Bye. Okay, we don't have time for an interview, so stay tuned for the next stream. Just a suggestion to anyone that is watching, if you want a humdinger of a game 121 at 5 o'clock, New Zealand under-23s against the Turkish under-23s, I'm definitely going to be all over that one, because I've got money on that game that we'll have all 4 chairs filled in the sin bin. Okay, catch you later.